Morning guys, how you doing? And girls, I suppose. I'm Yalek, and it's Thursday, which means, drumroll please, War Factory. I haven't looked specifically at the layout yet, but I know we're going to need this. And for right now, how about we switch these over to... we'll leave those as Zukas. Because most likely this is what I'd be going with. We will see. Okay, free GBE to be had over here. Cheap GBE over there, but all of this should be available to you. This is fairly similar to something we had a couple of weeks ago. Interesting. Where do the Doom Cannons end there? You know, I'm almost tempted to try something really weird here. You know what? Let's try weird here. This is what I didn't do a couple of weeks ago, and probably should have. This side over here looks pretty straightforward to me. We do unfortunately have lasers right near the core. Those are, well, that one is a problem. That one is less so a problem. These two are not a problem. Just don't bring every spark on your core hit. Not a big concern. Oh, that side's pretty vanilla to me. This side over here, a little less standard. The difference between this week and a couple of weeks ago, to my eye, is that these Doom Cannons are more of a problem if you wanted to come over here. This formation of machine guns surrounding the shields. I'm not going to try barding those out. I will try barding those out, perhaps. We'll see. So I'm thinking Smoky Grins up into this corner, right up there, and we're going to make use of the extended shocks that we have. We've got a few extra seconds on those, plus we have tiny shocks, and we'll see how that goes. I have low-level Grins on this account, so that does make me a little hesitant, but I wanted to do something different last time. I avoided using the Grins. That's right, I don't use Grins on this account, so I don't have a loadout saved. Avoided using the Grins last time because it seemed way too obvious, but this time not as obvious, so let's go ahead and try it out. Gonna throw a couple boats of medic in there too, because if the machine guns do come unshocked, that might help keep us alive. I say help. Hero. Interesting. Alright, so brick gives us the damage. Bullet would probably get eaten up by the machine guns, although we're going to try to keep them shocked. However, bullet does give the advantage of directing our damage. And then there's always Everspark and hack, which could be useful. That's actually a very interesting question, which I will ponder as I have a sip of coffee. You know, the health on these is not all that high. I mean, Grens are wildly inaccurate, but otherwise, so it's going to take longer because of that, but otherwise the health on these is not all that high. Let's see. We could do like a value shock there and get at least 6 of these guys, or at least 5. Actually, yeah, should be able to get 6, plus a mini. We've got the 30-second tiny shock right now, so on that to make sure that we're not taking damage. Let's go with brick. Brick to try to speed up the process of killing machine guns so we can get over to the shields. Brick and battle orders. And fair warning, I do not smoke Grens very often, and of course smoking medics is always fun. I wonder, does this range down there? I think I could get away without smoking at all, but I'm going to use a couple smokes anyway, just to be extra cautious here, because, well, Grens are expensive, among other things. Also, you know, I'd like for this attack not to completely suck, but that would be great. Alright, and right back to the corner, and hopefully, come on, one of the machine guns fire. That'd be great, because I want the medics to move. There we, oh, wow, or way more than one of the machine guns to fire. Cool. And the medics are dead. Well, battle orders, and we're gonna shock nice and early on this. Whew, that sucks. So now we have this tiny handful of Grens out there, and that is not going to cut it. Question becoming, how committed am I to this strategy? Oh man, you know what? Probably having to do this again. Ditch the medics this time. And just go with the Grens, because, and so that was purposeful. I tried to gap a smoke a tiny bit because I was hoping to take a little bit of damage, not that much damage. I was hoping to take a little bit of damage on the Grenadiers so the medics would start moving, because medics will just stay clustered here down on the shore, not really accomplishing anything, and waiting for someone to get hurt, because that's what they do. They're medics and they don't follow flares. That worked out horrendously. The medics did not move. Well, the medics started moving, but the Grenadiers got blasted, and yeah. Alright, so never minding medics. Like I said, costly. I did my daily chest just before this, and the daily chest I chose staying with brick. Yeah, staying with brick. On the daily chest I chose the gold. I'm glad I did that now. I had the choice between gold or a purple shard. 3 purple shards. Normally I'd take the shards, but I just hit 500 powder on this account, and I don't know. It's War Factory Day, so kind of a default thing. I figured, yeah. Alright, let's try that again, but with less suckage. Alright, so that was fine, that was fine. Brick's gonna pop out over there, but she's fine. Right back to the corner, we'll pre-throw that. And get under. Smoke. Alright. Battle orders, as before. We're gonna do this, and then we're gonna do those guys. And we lost a Gren already, and that was a little premature. We're gonna get that guy. He's doing some damage. And Brick's getting shot, but I'm not too worried about her. And hopefully we can start doing damage to these things, which will be shooting at us fairly soon. Might use another artillery. Luckily artillery is cheap here. Do we have another shock or anything? No. So let's get battle orders out and hope to kill a couple more of these things before they wreck our lives. The good news is, actually, yeah. The good news is these shields are getting where we need them to be. They'll be cleaned up, and then there won't be so many things to shoot at us. Bad news is that took 2 attacks. If we were going to do a core rush on this, how many shocks right now? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, so we will definitely clean up the shocks. On this side, we're going to damage that, and we're going to clear those mines, because we'll use Sparky over there. That'll cut down on some shocks later on. Also a bunch of GBE up here, that's handy. And the Grenadiers doing their wildly inaccurate thing. Yay. What else? I guess we'll just sit on that GBE for a minute. Actually, we're going to pull the Grens back there a little bit. Would like that focused a little bit more on the shields. Really want these shields to go down. Starting to worry about the range on those Doom Cannons. I think we'll be alright. On the shields, I mean. I'm probably going to clean this up a little bit too, because I'm thinking it's a shorter walk that way later on, if and when, well, when we get to core hits. This was, what, attack 2? Because attack 1 sucked. Alright, come on. Now, holding on to this barrage, I think that's going to go down pretty soon, and when it does, we're going to get the Grens up here for more GBE, which I'm not even sure where we'll use that yet, but whatever. Get away from the Doom Cannons. That's a bad idea. Right onto core there. Cleaning up some mines along the way and damaging no conventional towers, just prototypes, so we don't care about that. Excuse me. So now core hit would be looking at more, definitely 1, definitely 2 critters. Tiny shock. Tiny shock works on proto. Yeah, of course it does. That's a silly question. Alright, let's see where we stand. Definitely going to hit with Everspark here, and want to remove these 3 towers, and then really don't have anything to be concerned about if we're attacking from in this area. Critters for the blaster, and or tiny shock, shock, and then there is this one hot pot, but we should be out of range. Actually, it might be better walking up this way, right there to right there. Nice straight line. Yeah, maybe we'll do that. Have to clean up some of those mines with this hit. And gonna grab some of the GBE over here, I guess. GBE down here. So we'll go back to the Zuka Everspark loadout that I had originally. Well, that was uglier than it needed to be, but we got where we wanted eventually. Bit of a detour. May those Grenadiers rest in peace. And now we can actually get into this is more familiar territory here. I don't use Grens very much. Honestly, I don't. I've smoked them maybe a handful of times in my life, maybe 5. Alright, so I am thinking, try to get Sparky. We can drop Sparky about here. She's going to path up this way, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, if I just drop her, I can drop her right there, under a smoke. She should be fine. We'll keep the smoke low because of those boom cannons. They do reach right down to the beach. And that would suck. Let's have no more mishaps of that kind. So yeah, actually we'll drop the smoke nice and low, so she should path up this way. Sort of, where'd my pen go? Hello? There it is. Yeah, she should start, if I drop her about here, she should curve up and go like that. I'm thinking. I've really been trying to put more thought into her pathing lately because it's a little bizarre and I hear people complaining about it all the time, and I would love to figure out exactly what's going on there. Okay, and critters for the blaster. That's the main thing. I want to be up there to be away from like hot pots and things, but that does leave us with the blaster to deal with. So probably looking at 1, 2, 3, could get there in 4 smokes with a bit of stretching. 5 to be on the safe side, plus the critters. And should be able to double tap these 2 towers, re-smoke. That's what the critters are for. And then should be able to single tap this. Probably could even triple tap from there. Might try that. So, flare. Smoke. Yeah. There we go. It's, yeah, perfect. Crits right in there, and we're gonna go like that. And critters are in the right position there, so perfect. Don't want to take chances on the triple tap. We've already had enough screw-ups. We'll just, for me anyway, it's safer to do it that way. So yeah, let's see then. Clearing those mines. Clearing those mines. Oh, really? Oh, the one cool thing about this path though is that it is going straight through lasers. So that's fun. But yeah, shock. Shouldn't be an issue. 2 tiny shocks. Do we want the free GBE for anything at all? Anything at all? Actually, no. I think we're just good for ready for core hit. So back to brick. This is, I mean, actually, this should have been done in 3. Should be pretty straightforward, I would think. If you're even moderately good with your Sparky skills, you should be able to get those 3 towers, whether you have to re-smoke once or twice in order to do it. But, you know, do get the critters in there. That should protect you. Main problem is the blaster. These things are a little on the slow side, so they shouldn't really be a problem for you. So we're going to get the tiny shocks out way early on those, because we've got 30 seconds, so why not? And actually, is this Doom? Yeah, so shock. We'll try to get that Doom in there as well. Shock on these lasers. What's the health on the HQ? Current health 582, so I'm not exactly sure, but 3 or 4 shots should do it. And right there, and the line brings us right up to there. So, smoking again. Not sure if it's 100% necessary, but when there's lasers around, better to be safe than sorry, because you'll get real sorry in a hurry. Okay, get up there. Smoke's about to expire. Alright, good. Alright, straight up to there. Ah, cool. What a great day this has been. And peeks to the laser. Awesome. Yeah, we said we were going to get that Doom Cannon too. Well. Oh, that other Doom Cannon get, prick? Did. Spectacular. Such a fun core walk that we're going to do it again. I am so glad I took that gold earlier. Oh, okay, so, like I said, this should be pretty easily doable in 3, and I'm going to do it pretty easily in 5. Alright, what is the exact range on these things? hold on. I need to check exactly where I'm landing on the shore. View. I want to see if I can. Alright, I will land under those. So we're going to use a side flare and start smoking up there to prevent that happening again. If this doesn't work, it's going to look horrible. But then again, it can't look any worse than that. But yeah, side flare to here and then start smoking immediately. But to try to avoid that whole fiasco on the beach. That was bad. And again with the shocks, because that was also bad. Shock getting the Doom Cannon, shock on the lasers, and the tiny shocks, but not so worried about those. Okay, so you can safely walk this beach, which I had speculated with the Grenadiers a while back. You can safely walk this beach without having to worry about the lasers. But boy, I had to learn that the hard way, huh? See, that's much better. That line, I mean, even though it's you're walking a line of death between lasers, which sucks. Get the shocks out way early this time, because I really want that to go down and be done with it. There you go. It's War Factory in 5 with 2 extra just for fun. And let's not do that again. Anyway, hopefully that helps you decide how you would want to approach this. This, like the last time we had the layout that was similar to this, I had said that, where are we for time? Getting along. But the last time we had this layout, I had said that you could go several different directions with that. I feel like that was a pretty viable choice this time. Don't have to smoke the beach, so you can probably just gather the Grens up there. Don't go with the medics, that was a mistake. You can also, to be honest, just stick to this side over here if you can hack. Those 3 things are pretty ripe for hacking. These are, what was the health on those? They were, I can't see. They were bardable. So a couple GBE attacks, and particularly given that you've got spare GBE down here, you've got GBE down here to use, those can just be barded out if you just wanted to skip the shields entirely and take advantage of, like, honestly, the tiny shocks are very cheap. So tiny shock on the Doom Cannon if you wanted to do a core hit from, like, say, right over in here. Tiny shock on the Doom Cannon as well, and then just shocking these lasers. These would have been barded out, recall. So those are hacked. Tiny shock, that will not range you, and so you just keep shocking these. You're getting, I think I'm getting 13 seconds on this account. On a regular shock, what do I have on that tribe? On my max account, I'm getting 15 seconds, and 15 seconds is a lot of time for Zookas. So yeah, I'm getting 13 seconds worth of shocks. So 26 seconds, just 2 shocks on 1 set of lasers. Meanwhile, the tiny shocks will still be in effect after 2 full rounds of regular shocks. So there's 4 seconds left on that. That is a bunch of time to burn through that shield. Don't know what the shield was. Didn't check that. Should have. Oh well, bit late now. Anyway, learn from my mistakes. And